are also eagerly awaiting for the arrival of Prime Minister Modi.
अच्छे हुए, अच्छे तो है ही, लेकिन उसमें और ज़्यादा अच्छे हुए और प्रगति निरंतर होती रहे और हमको भी काम यहाँ मिलता रहे और हम ज़्यादा रेमिटेंस इंडिया को भेज सके, तो वी कैन स्ट्रेंथन आवर इकोनॉमी ऑल्सो एंड वी कैन डेवलप आवर नेशन. Okay.
He wants to speak in Telugu. English and then Telugu.
Hello. Namaskaram. Hello. We are belong to IAF group and we came from SATA Central, Saudi Arabia Telugu Association group. We all the way came from Riyadh in the bus to meet Modi ji. It's our dream come true. So we are from Telugu people. Memu Telugu alamu Modi garni ఘనంగా స్వాగతం చేయడానికి వచ్చాము. మా స్వప్నము మోడీ గారిని చూడడం, అది ఇవాళ ఫలిస్తుంది. చాలా చాలా థ్యాంక్స్ ఇక్కడ క్రౌన్ ప్రిన్స్ MBBS గారికి ఇక్కడ అరేంజ్ చేసినందుకు, మోడీ గారు వస్తున్నందుకు చాలా 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 ఆనందంగా ఉంది. వెల్కమ్ మోడీజీ, వెల్కమ్ మోడీజీ, వందే మాతరం. వందే మాతరం. వందే.
You want to sing?
वैष्णव जन तो तेने रे कहिए, पीड़ पराई जाने रे,
पर
दुखे उपकार करे तोए, मन अभिमान न आवे रे. वैष्णव जन तो तेने रे कहिए रे, पीड़ पराई जाने रे.
Jai Shri Krishna.
Jai Shri Krishna. Jai
All right. Well, people there, the Indian diaspora eagerly are waiting for the arrival of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is now has become common, isn't it, Rishabh? As far as the Indian diaspora is concerned, whenever Prime Minister Narendra Modi is on a foreign visit or a state visit, there are always a significant number of Indian community which are ready to welcome the Indian Prime Minister.
Well, definitely, as Prime Minister called the Indian diaspora the brand ambassador of India worldwide. And Indian diaspora, be it in West Asia, be it in Europe, be it in United States, be it in East Asia or Southeast Asia as well, the Indian diaspora is something that has kept the Indianness with them. And whenever Prime Minister is visiting these countries, we have seen quite enthusiastic scenes, visuals coming in from airport, from the hotel where Prime Minister stays, from the diaspora events that we have seen. I myself have attended 2 or 3 of the diaspora events in various parts of the world, even in a country like Poland, where the diaspora is not that big. But the way Prime Minister was welcomed at the diaspora, it showcases that how the Indian diaspora is looking forward to their home country. And the Prime Minister visiting these countries sends a different message. The diaspora believe that the Indian diplomacy that has evolved in last few years will give them more focus in their host countries, and because of the stature of India on the global platform,
well, eagerly awaiting there as live reactions that are being coming in anytime now. We will be getting the pictures of the Prime Minister's arrival to Jeddah as well, and also to note, as Shreya was also talking about it earlier, the importance there when it comes to India and Saudi Arabia, Shreya, are the 2 fastest growing economies in the world, and these 2 countries have the potential to influence global order.
That's right, Amita. You're absolutely right in saying that these 2 countries are the fastest growing economies who have the potential to impact the global situation right now. And that is why it becomes all the more important for India and Saudi Arabia to collaborate, to keep meeting and to further strengthen their partnership. And that is something that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has since 2016 emphasized upon. The fact that since 2016 he's visited, this is the 3rd time he's visiting Saudi Arabia, reflects the kind of priorities that the 2 countries place on each other. Now, there are a couple of sectors, couple of fields where the 2 countries have been collaborating upon and want to further cement their relationship in those particular sectors. Energy is one. Crude oil and green hydrogen, as I've been saying, are the 2 most important collaborative sectors for both India and Saudi Arabia, considering also the fact that in West Asia there is instability at the moment, there is the Israel-Hamas war, and there is a potential threat of Iran being sanctioned again. So, when Iran gets sanctioned, the crude oil supply also gets impacted, and that is why India has been very, very careful and and rather strategic in making sure that it has its crude oil supply for its own people extremely intact in this kind of unstable situation. Green hydrogen is the other priority. Defense, February 2024, just last year, was the first defense pact that was signed between India and Saudi Arabia, and that is something that the two countries have been placing their importance on. Defense cooperation in the kind of unstable world that we have been living in, extremely important when it comes to defense cooperation. The other priority, Amita, is the IMAC, India-Middle East Economic Corridor, along with the European Union. And that is something that India had started, and it places a lot of emphasis on trade between India, Middle East and the European Union, something that Prime Minister Modi has been reiterating time and again at various global fora. So IMAC could come up in those talks between the Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and Prime Minister Narendra Modi as well. The other top priority and high on agenda could be the Hajj quota. Remember, only recently Saudi Arabia had put restrictions on the temporary visas that will be issued to citizens, especially Muslim citizens who come for Makkah, who come for Hajj pilgrimage. And that was not due to any bias against any country, but to avoid overcrowding and therefore a potential threat to the security as well as safety of the people who are coming there. India was included in that list of countries where temporary restrictions were placed, and that's why perhaps the Indian Prime Minister could talk about that Hajj restriction being lifted and the Hajj quota being increased for the Muslims of India to be going on that Hajj pilgrimage and, to Mecca. But in all of this, Amita, but in all of this, India, remember, all right, we have those visuals, Amita. Let's quickly show this to our viewers, those Saudi jets that have been accompanying the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's aircraft. As you can see, extremely unprecedented, but in tradition with line of what countries do to respect each other, to reflect on the importance that they place on each other's leaders. And this is one such unprecedented visual that has come out of the skies, with Indian Prime Minister expected to land in a short while from now.
Yes.
Saudi jets accompanying the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's aircraft.
Well, this is rare
important.
and something unprecedented. And of course, it seems that this is the utmost of respect that a state leader could be given even before his arrival. And the two countries having the potential to influence global order, as it is being said, and also to note that Prime Minister Narendra Modi is the first Indian Prime Minister to visit Jeddah in more than 4 decades. Usually, the Prime Minister has visited Riyadh. We're going to stay with those pictures. Back after a very short break. Newsroom 365 continues on the other side.